The streets of Atlanta are officially on fire tonight, and the entire hip-hop empire is standing in absolute, paralyzed shock. What you are about to witness is the total, unedited demolition of a 20-year truce between the self-proclaimed King of the South, T.I., and the most dangerous, unhinged truth-teller in comedy history, Katt Williams. Just hours ago, an explosive video leaked straight from an encrypted dark web portal, capturing a scene of pure, unadulterated chaos. T.I., accompanied by a heavily armed security detail, pulled up in a convoy of blacked-out armored SUVs to confront Katt Williams face-to-face outside an elite recording compound. The tension was so thick that eyewitnesses claim weapons were drawn, and a historical bloodbath was avoided by a fraction of an inch. The catalyst for this terrifying confrontation? Katt Williams covertly intercepted and publicly exposed the highly classified, top-secret official disc list from T.I.'s upcoming final retirement album, Kill the King. T.I. thought his secret weapon was safe, but Katt Williams just threw a grenade directly into his multi-million-dollar empire. Do not blink, do not pause, and do not look away for a single second. To understand how a routine album rollout degenerated into a near-fatal street standoff, you have to peel back over 2 decades of complex street politics, unimaginable wealth, and a fragile code of silence that has just been shattered into absolute pieces. We are talking about 2 generational icons who have sat on opposite thrones, commanding massive cultural empires: Clifford T.I. Harris, the undisputed King of the South, and Katt Williams, the unpredictable grandmaster of raw commentary. For over 15 years, these 2 men shared the same streets of Atlanta but maintained a calculated, uneasy distance, knowing that even a single spark between their rival camps could ignite a citywide corporate and street-level war. T.I. emerged from the trenches of Bankhead with the calculated precision of an elite kingpin. He successfully bridged the gap between raw street credibility and mainstream corporate gold, securing major Hollywood movie deals, elite brand endorsements, and a massively popular, family-friendly reality television empire. To Wall Street investors and global streaming networks, T.I. was a diplomatic institution, a veteran icon who had outgrown the block to become a bulletproof corporate brand. Behind the closed doors of Grand Hustle headquarters, everything was meticulously engineered to protect this pristine, multi-million-dollar legacy. But while T.I. was busy chasing corporate validation and clean contracts, Katt Williams was dominating a completely different realm. Katt is the definition of absolute autonomy, an independent powerhouse who built his legendary status by refusing to compromise with the mainstream machine. He doesn't answer to boardrooms or network executives. His entire brand is rooted in exposing the dark, hidden mechanisms of the entertainment industry. The tension reached a terrifying boiling point during Katt's historic appearance on Shannon Sharpe's Club Shay Shay podcast, where he went completely scorched earth on Hollywood's elite, declaring that the system was heavily manipulated and that many self-proclaimed kings were nothing more than protected corporate puppets. This deep-seated ideological divide was always bound to explode, but the ultimate catalyst arrived in early 2026 when T.I. officially announced his final curtain call, his highly anticipated retirement album, Kill the King. In the high-stakes landscape of modern music distribution, a legendary artist's final project is an immense gamble. Highly classified insider reports revealed that T.I. was in late-stage legal negotiations for an unprecedented $40 million catalog acquisition contract. However, global tech investors demanded an earthquake level of cultural buzz to solidify that staggering valuation. Out of absolute sheer necessity, T.I.'s camp secretly designed a catastrophic strategy, a highly guarded, multi-track diss list intended to weaponize past legal paperwork and settle old street scores to guarantee a record-breaking streaming debut. It was supposed to be a flawless, surgical strike that would cement T.I.'s legacy while funding his permanent retirement. But in 2026, there are no secrets that can escape the reach of Katt Williams. Katt reportedly intercepted the complete blueprint of Kill the King, discovering that T.I. was planning a systematic character assassination of several high-profile Southern hip-hop figures. Katt viewed this as the ultimate corporate betrayal of the street code, a fake king trying to sacrifice real legends to save his own financial assets. By tossing that classified list directly into the public domain, Katt Williams didn't just provoke a rap battle. He threatened to dismantle T.I.'s entire empire, setting the stage for a terrifying collision course that no one was prepared for. The quiet midnight of a standard industry week was instantly shattered when a secure, encrypted link bypassed standard internet firewalls, spreading like wildfire across private chat rooms and underground music forums. The file was a catastrophic security breach containing the multi-page strategic layout of T.I.'s final retirement masterpiece, including specific tracks designed to legally and socially liquidate his rivals. The emotional fallout inside T.I.'s camp was immediate, volatile, and terrifyingly raw. Sources within Grand Hustle headquarters describe a scene of pure, unbridled fury, where the self-proclaimed king of the South completely lost control, smashing expensive audio interfaces and demanding immediate vengeance. This wasn't a standard corporate miscommunication over intellectual property. It was a devastating betrayal that threatened to paralyze a $40 million catalog acquisition contract. T.I. refused to wait for legal filings or boardroom interventions, choosing instead to mobilize his most lethal street resources to hunt down the source of the exposure. At exactly 2:45 a.m., under a heavy downpour of rain, a menacing convoy of 4 blacked-out, armored SUVs tore out of the Buckhead district, navigating the slippery streets of Atlanta with aggressive, tactical precision. Their destination was a low-profile, high-security creative facility on the outskirts of Zone 6, where Inside Intelligence reported Katt Williams was currently wrapping up an independent documentary project. The convoy pulled up to the front perimeter, tires screeching against wet asphalt, as heavily armed bodyguards deployed in a synchronized. Bloodshot with pure blinding rage, his chest heaving under a custom tactical vest. He marched directly toward the heavy iron double doors of the compound, completely ignoring the rain as his voice boomed through the empty industrial block, screaming Katt Williams' name with an intensity that sent a literal chill through the witnesses hiding in the shadows. He demanded Katt step out into the cold, yelling that he had played with the wrong legacy and that his entire empire would be dismantled before the sun came up. For 3 agonizing, suffocating minutes, there was nothing but the sound of pouring rain and the heavy breathing of armed men standing on the absolute brink of warfare. The atmosphere was so volatile that a single sudden movement or an accidental sound would have triggered an instant tragedy. Then, the heavy iron security door slowly clicked open, and a single spotlight from the SUVs illuminated the entrance. Katt Williams stepped out into the damp night air, completely alone, wearing a pristine silk robe, casually holding a vintage cigar. His expression was chillingly dead, entirely devoid of panic or intimidation. He didn't run, he didn't call for backup. He simply walked forward with measured steps until he was standing a mere 2 inches from T.I.'s chest, looking directly into the eyes of the furious rap icon. The physical contrast was stunning. T.I. was a trembling volcano of corporate rage, while Katt was an iceberg of unyielding street autonomy, utterly unmoved by the heavily armed army surrounding his perimeter. The verbal exchange that followed was a masterclass in psychological warfare and raw emotion. T.I. shoved his finger directly into Katt's face, screaming that the leak was a direct violation of his livelihood, an act of commercial sabotage that put his family, his artists, and his entire life's work in immediate jeopardy. Katt slowly took a puff of his cigar, exhaled the smoke directly into the space between them, and responded in a low, terrifyingly calm cadence, telling Clifford that his Hollywood suit had made him forget what real warfare looked like. Katt openly declared that T.I. wasn't angry about a data breach. He was panicking because the public now knew he was creatively bankrupted and needed the blood of his brothers to feed his dying kingdom. At that exact millisecond, T.I. lost his composure completely, aggressively stepping forward to physically confront the comedian. Katt's lead security detail instantly reacted, drawing a tactical firearm from beneath his coat. In a heartbeat, T.I.'s bodyguards matched the threat, raising multiple high-caliber weapons. The standoff was absolute, an unedited nightmare where 20 years of hidden resentment was compressed into a fraction of a second, defused only when the high-pitched wail of approaching police sirens echoed down the street, forcing T.I.'s camp to execute a chaotic, tactical retreat into the night. While the internet was instantly paralyzed by fragmented cell phone footage of the standoff circulating on TikTok, the true nuclear bomb dropped just 6 hours later on an anonymous Telegram channel, revealing the first shocking twist of the saga. This was not an external hack executed by a random digital collective or an anonymous dark web group. Highly classified insider intelligence confirmed that Katt Williams had obtained the secret disk list through an act of total inside betrayal. A high-ranking, deeply trusted audio engineer within T.I.'s own production inner circle had been compromised, accepting an astronomical six-figure payout from a shadow corporate entity to copy the master files directly from Grand Hustle's private servers. T.I. wasn't just facing an unhinged enemy in the public domain. His entire security infrastructure had been thoroughly infiltrated from within, proving that the wolves were already inside his castle, waiting for the perfect psychological moment to completely liquidate his throne. The digital landscape did not just explode within hours of the midnight standoff. It completely mutated into a high-stakes psychological war zone. At exactly 9 a.m., Katt Williams' official independent media infrastructure launched a mysterious, pitch-black landing page featuring a blood-red countdown timer relentlessly ticking down to zero under the chilling header, "The Coronation of a Hollywood Puppet," unedited and uncut. It was at this exact millisecond that the second, infinitely more radioactive twist was dropped upon the unsuspecting industry. Katt Williams had not merely stepped outside his studio to engage in a routine shouting match with T.I. He had engineered a flawless, military-grade counter-ambush. High-level intelligence confirmed that Katt's documentary crew had secretly installed high-definition night vision cameras and advanced directional environmental microphones all around the perimeter of the Zone 6 facility hours before the armored SUVs even arrived. T.I.'s entire unhinged tirade, his direct verbal threats of violence, his demands for the destruction of property, and the terrifying moment his inner circle drew their weapons, had been captured in pristine 4K clarity. Katt Williams had effortlessly provoked the self-proclaimed King of the South into filming his own public execution tape, creating a digital weapon that could trigger a federal extortion investigation and immediately void T.I.'s $40 million catalog acquisition contract under the corporate reputational morality clause. The viral fallout from this revelation was instantaneous and uncontrollable, completely paralyzing the internet and causing major social media applications to repeatedly glitch. The hashtags #CattLeaks and #KillTheKing rapidly ascended to the #1 global trending positions on X, racking up an unimaginable 5 million individual posts in less than 12 hours. The digital space transformed into a chaotic battlefield as millions of frantic hip-hop consumers scrambled to witness the impending destruction of a legend. Leaked screenshots from an elite, invite-only celebrity Discord server surfaced on Reddit, revealing that top-tier industry figures were actively panicking, terrified of being associated with a project that was rapidly turning into a toxic, radioactive legal hazard zone. As the controversy reached a boiling point, the culture's most volatile media figures and internet trolls arrived to pour gasoline directly onto the raging fire. The legendary media mastermind and elite provocateur 50 Cent could not resist the absolute chaos. Taking to his official Instagram account, 50 Cent posted a savage, side-by-side graphic of an armored convoy and a shattered glass studio table, adding a merciless caption that generated over 600,000 likes in under 30 minutes. Damn, Clifford. Creative differences in Atlanta are getting dangerously expensive. You pulled up on the Catman with a whole army because he read your diary? Look, if I were you, Clifford, I'd keep your security tight and your vest on. Katt isn't trying to win a Grammy. He looks like he's trying to hand you a lifetime sentence. Enjoy your retirement, man. It's looking real loud. At the same time, DJ Academics instantly went live to a staggering audience of over 150,000 viewers, pacing frantically around his room and screaming directly into his microphone about the unprecedented catastrophe unfolding on live television. Academics frantically warned his audience that this was no longer entertainment, declaring that major tech conglomerates were on the verge of freezing Grand Hustle's corporate assets and begging for elder statesmen like Jay Prince to step in before the streets of Atlanta witnessed an absolute tragedy. Yet, as the global hip-hop community watched the countdown clock evaporate in utter disbelief, the situation grew infinitely darker. A secondary, highly classified document leak emerged from an encrypted group chat belonging to top-tier music promoters, completely flipping the narrative on its head. High-level insider corporate records revealed that T.I.'s desperate midnight confrontation wasn't just driven by personal pride or a fractured ego. The leaked data suggested that the countdown timer wasn't a promotional gimmick, but an automated cyberleak protocol tied to a hidden archive that threatened to expose a massive financial crisis within the upper echelons of Southern music distribution. With less than 12 hours remaining on the clock, T.I. was officially running out of time to stop a total cultural eclipse, raising a terrifying new question that left the entire industry shivering in fear. What exactly is hidden on the hard drive that T.I. was willing to risk his life and his freedom to retrieve? The global hip-hop community has officially fractured into two fiercely warring factions, transforming the comment sections under every major entertainment platform into a digital battlefield of unprecedented hostility. The division has reached a boiling point where staying neutral is no longer an option, forcing fans, influencers, and corporate executives to openly pick a side. On one side of these ideological trenches stand the die-hard street purists violently defending Katt Williams under the hashtag #TeamKatt. They argue that T.I. broke the most sacred, unwritten laws of hip-hop culture by using his final retirement album as a corporate tool to weaponize unproven street rumors and confidential legal data against his fellow pioneers just to inflate his own streaming metrics. To these fans, Katt Williams' brutal data breach was an act of cultural justice. A viral comment by user @traplord_99 captured this sentiment perfectly, racking up 100,000 likes within minutes. Clifford thinks this is a Hollywood movie set where he can write scripts to destroy real legends. You cannot talk down on the trenches and expect a comedian to stay quiet. Katt didn't just leak a list. He exposed a fake king trying to sell out his brothers for a multi-million-dollar tech check. Conversely, T.I.'s deeply entrenched Southern fan base is striking back with equal venom under the banner of #TeamTip, labeling the entire controversy a calculated corporate smear campaign designed to sabotage a living legend's final curtain call. They scream across Reddit forums that a 20-year legacy of cultural dominance cannot be erased by an unhinged comedian looking for internet clout. They argue that a diss list is a standard element of hip-hop competition and that Katt Williams' intentional leak of private studio data is a criminal violation of creative safety. User @tipfan_2026 shot back on X. Y'all are blind. T.I. laid the very bricks of the trap movement. Katt Williams is just a chaotic force trying to freeze a black man's $40 million catalog acquisition because of old, bitter envy. Clifford stands 10 toes down, and this fake digital trap won't ruin his crown. This vicious public warfare has thrown the institutional music industry into a state of total corporate paralysis. The legendary Rick Ross attempted to play the role of a mature diplomatic mediator during a high-profile radio interview on Morning Grind Atlanta, but even his luxury-tinged delivery carried an underlying tone of extreme dread. Look, man, I love both of those brothers. They are both absolute giants who built the platform we are all eating off of today, but we have to be completely real about the economics. When you start talking about hidden surveillance, armed entourages outside facilities, and inside betrayals, the energy changes. This isn't entertainment anymore, boss. This is real life, real families, and real empires on the line. The corporate tech sharks are watching, and when they see this level of reputational liability, they don't look at history, they look at the contract clauses. The industry backlash has been swift and completely uncontrollable. Major radio stations across the Deep South are reportedly implementing a total broadcast ban on any promotional material from Kill the King out of sheer panic that airing the project could incite real-world retaliatory violence directly outside their studios. Elite club promoters in Atlanta have officially halted booking VIP sections for any affiliates of either camp, entirely altering the city's nightlife landscape. The public is terrified, The elite are taking cover, and a statement has just leaked from the upper echelons of music distribution that points to an even deeper, uglier betrayal that is about to reset the entire board. Just as the global music industry was trying to navigate the radioactive fallout of the 4K perimeter video, an anonymous cyber collective uploaded a heavily redacted document from an encrypted network that has completely shattered the reality of this war. This ultimate revelation has sent a literal chill down the spine of every major artist in the South, resetting the entire board and leaving corporate boardrooms in a state of sheer, unadulterated terror. The mind-blowing truth is that the leaked database contains a high-security folder embedded deep within the master metadata of the Kill the King project files, legally classified in inner circles as the Clifford files. This is not a standard collection of rough track drafts, hidden subliminals, or competitive rap poetry. It contains a series of raw, decrypted audio recordings from a confidential federal wiretap dating back to the mid-2010s. The voice on the call, which insider forensic analysts claim matches T.I. identically, is captured discussing a massive, secret arrangement with federal prosecutors, one that names multiple top-tier Atlanta rappers, high-profile executives, and street figures. This file effectively frames T.I.'s entire 20-year legacy as a street king as a calculated, corporate-sanctioned play to eliminate his independent competition and force a hostile takeover of independent Southern master recordings by a multi-billion-dollar technology conglomerate. But the psychological horror goes infinitely deeper, completely altering the moral landscape of this feud. Katt Williams did not obtain these catastrophic files through a standard digital hack or a random dark web transaction. A secondary leak from an encrypted communication network used by elite celebrity bodyguards reveals that the physical hard drive containing the Clifford files was stolen directly out of T.I.'s highly fortified private home safe in Buckhead. The terrifying rumors are pointing directly to an absolute inside betrayal within the Harris family household itself. Someone deeply embedded in T.I.'s inner sanctum, someone who has watched the internal family dynamics unfold for decades, finally chose a side, cracked the safe, and handed Katt Williams the ultimate weapon of professional destruction. And the orchestrator pulling the strings from the shadows? Insider intelligence whispers that a legendary, unnamed multi-billionaire hip-hop mogul from New York is the mastermind who secretly financed the entire digital counter-ambush, converting a localized Southern rap feud into a multi-billion-dollar corporate war for absolute cultural supremacy. The countdown timer on the affiliate server is not a promotional gimmick or a marketing countdown. It is an automated cyber leak protocol. If the clock hits absolute zero before T.I. signs over 100% of the publishing rights and master ownership of Kill the King to an independent cultural trust, the unedited wiretap files will automatically publish across every global streaming server, triggering a complete legal and financial liquidation of Grand Hustle. As we speak, the final desperate seconds on that clock are evaporating. Heavily armed private tactical security teams have just been spotted setting up a massive, high-security perimeter around an undisclosed, pitch-black warehouse on the remote outskirts of Atlanta. Insiders are reporting that an emergency, high-stakes meeting has been called behind closed doors where both T.I. and Katt Williams are heading right now for a final, unscripted face-to-face confrontation. No cameras, no press, and absolutely no police. Just two legendary giants staring into the jaws of a 20-year hatred, surrounded by heavily armed security units with their fingers on the trigger. If this meeting goes left, it won't just be the end of an album rollout. It will be a literal historical catastrophe that will permanently alter the rap map forever. The red lights are flashing. The predator has officially become the prey, and the entire rap game is on the absolute precipice of destruction. The clock is hitting absolute zero, and the entire rap game is about to change forever. I need to hear from you right now down in the comments. Did T.I. permanently tarnish his legacy by planning a corporate hit job on his brothers, or did Katt Williams just pull off the most savage game of 4D chess in hip-hop history? Drop your raw thoughts below using hashtag TeamTip or hashtag TeamKatt. Smash that subscribe button right now, hit that like button, and turn on all notifications so you don't miss our emergency update the exact second this warehouse meeting explodes. Stay locked in.